Okay, I think let's get started. Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to ITOM Batch 2, Day 25. How are you doing, Arati?
I'm good, Ajay. Thank you.
Good to hear. So, Arati, do you have any questions from the last sessions which we have covered till now related to discovery, related to CMDB, deduplications, or any other things?
No, I don't have any questions.
So, have you completed that your labs of the discovery and the whatever things we have covered till
I'm
now?
still going through them, Ajay,
Ah,
because my project, I'm working on this agent client collector, so I'm going through that training right now.
oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Sure. No issues.
yeah, but I will
So,
go through it. If I have any questions, I'll ask you.
definitely, you can reach me out anytime.
Yeah,
Okay, let me share my screen and let's get started now.
okay.
Let me know once my screen is visible to you.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so in the last sessions we have discussed about that deduplication task, and we discussed about how we can resolve and other things, right? So the same way, let's go with couple of other things related to the configuration item. Right, so we have already discussed about CI class manager, right? Let's discuss about the CMDB group, CMDB query builder. Okay. So what is CMDB group? Basically, you can understanding me by the naming convention already. CMDB group is just to be create the group for specific type of devices after applying couple of filter conditions, right? So if I go here, right, so let's take an example. I'm just giving the name of this one is track with AJ. And what type of CMDB group we are going to be created? It's default related to CMDB workspace or health, right? So let's default creating. Now here you can see we have CMDB groups contained saved queries. If we have already queries saved, we can add those one. We can encoded queries as well. If we can create it, the our encoded queries, and we can contains we can configure based on the contains configuration item as well, right? So let's go with encoded query. If I go here, we can apply a filter on which table we want to be applied. So let's take an example. I am applying on Windows Server table. It's global, and this if we want to be put any conditions like operational status is operational, right? So that is simple thing. Basically, we can do that, but question comes where we are going to use that particular CMDB group. We are going to use that particular CMDB groups in technical services. So when we are going to be configure any technical service, we can use that particular one. So right, I'm just putting the name, just saving this one. No, that's not coming here. Might be I'm on the different. Let me open in different way. One moment. Dynamics here, basically. So here, let me create one more. See, test. And if you see here, CMDB groups is the reference of the dynamic CI grouping, right? So I can reference it and submit it. So basically that particular things is mostly business services already established. Okay. Save this again. Okay, so basically what is the use of it? If we want to showcase to our customer based on their requirements, if he wants to see that CI is related to specific data centers, if he want to see related to any specific location or any specific device type or any specific thing, right? So we can configure that one for them, and that then they can utilize that as well as dynamic CI grouping, right? And again, as I mentioned, that can be part of the technical service, so we can also utilize those particular things in our technical service to do a mapping. And our technical services is mostly exposing to the technical teams, like our support team, any Windows or any infra related or network related team who want to be see the CIs, how many CIs belongs to their support group, or how many CIs they are taking the operational things and all, right? So we can apply and we can showcase and we can give that particular view to them as well, right? So that is the basic use of it. And it will also going to be help out when we are going to be create any incidents or anything where we can expose our technical service to be part of it. I just CM service offerings and all, and then they can use it further to be see the impact, where is the impact and what is the impact. But it will not give that more highlight, but it just to be help out to grouping the CIs based on the some filter conditions. Simple. So that's why we are using, we first of all we have to create the CMDB group, and then we have to be add that particular CMDB group in dynamic CI group mapping. Insert services. Oh, I think that is already exists. That's why we are getting error. Let me try with different name.
So where is this dynamic CI group? How is that related to technical services? Um,
So basically, let me showcase you this one as well. So I'm on the technical services here. I'm just creating this one. Backtrack with AJ1. Let me save this. So now it's saved. Basically, it's directly not will be part of it, but this is my technical service, and this is my dynamic CI group table. If this is CMDB CI query based service do, and this is my CMDB CI service technical do, right? So here we can create a relationship with that basically. So we need to be exposed, or we need to use the CMDB rel CI table to populate the services in the technical side using the dynamic CI groups basically. So do you know that three types of services will be there? One is application service, second is business service, and third is technical service. And that we are going to be little bit discuss more on that services and how we are doing mapping and relationships in the CSDM part. So I think that will be starting by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So we are going to be discuss about a little bit deep on those particular things basically there. What is service, technical service, business service, and all, basically all the part of CMDB underscore CI underscore service table. This is my parent table for services. Right, and here if there is one service classification field, let me show you. Service classification is already in the top here, right? You can see. So application service, business service, and technical service. There are two technical services. Let me show you one, that QA, which is already here. If you see, when I click on the QA audit service, it's referring me on the same table of dynamic CI group. Dynamic CI group, QA audit service, and we can also use the same group which we have created there. Right? I think now you are getting it.
yeah. Okay.
Right? So then we can see that, and we can see the CMDB groups as well from here. Means how many CI, and the record is part of it. We can also see the view service CIs. Basically, it's giving the same response, but yeah, we can also validate that which CIs belongs to that particular service. in different way. Basically, now you can see if you want to be changed, you can also change in that way as well from here, but here you cannot change it. So, that is just somehow, I'm not sure if you have gone through with service mapping or not. When you're using application service or creating the services, that is the view like that only. Like you can immediately switch to different services if you want to, right? So it just here in this particular view. So we can call topology view basically on this particular thing, topology map or topology view, right? So this is again part of the same. Business service is something which is going to be exposed to my business. If I open this one just to showcase you, see, so this is my business service. That is my BlackBerry. So example, if I give you an example of business services, onboarding to offboarding, right? Onboarding to offboarding is my business service where couple of application service part of that particular business service to support it. Application service is nothing which is if like let's take an example. You are working on a project, you get a feature or epic from your management side, and now you want to be split on the stories, right? So you got build a catalog, where approval where any person can order anything, right? But to design that catalog, you have to be discussed with that requirement owner, like what type of catalog you want, what that they can honor, what fields you are going to be designed, right? And how the approval process, how the mechanism of get that creating the task. So you are going to be create couple of stories related to form design, related to approval process, related to basically other things as well, right? So you are going to be split, but end of the day, what they are serving that particular feature or app package which you create, which is just received from that customer side, right? The same way here, business service is nothing. Business service is the top service which is exposed to business, and under that we can create different services related to application or the technical which support that particular business service. So they can have a visibility, my application owners have a visibility, like if that particular service have any impact, that is going to be impact my business service as well. End of the day, that is serving by them, right? So again here if you see, that is used that particular service BlackBerry is used by two electronic messaging and electronic messaging service. If I open this one, this is my CMDB CI service, right? They have not given any classification here, it's a business or application, but it's a service which is supporting my BlackBerry application. Also, they have also created some relationships with that insights, email and all. So I just don't want to go deep now because we are going to be cover that particular things to in basically in CSDM things, right? How that particular classifications, relationships and things will be working on that side.
Okay.
Okay. So that's clear. Let me go to the next things which I just want to discuss today is query-based services. Have you ever worked on that CMDB query builder?
No.
Okay. This is also nothing. It's no, nothing else, but just only creating the report with more than two tables, or basically if we want to give the reference of any table, like tag track with is a let me create. So we can create reports and we can publish to our stakeholders if they are looking for something, the requirement like I just want to see showcase how many Windows Server and on Windows Server, how many databases running on it on specifically, right? So there is no other way to get that report. You cannot achieve that particular thing using the report module which is available in ServiceNow. So here you have to join two CMDB tables and you have to run the query on it and then you can populate that report, right? So let's take an example. If I am, picking this Windows Server, okay, and let's take an example of application. So here, so on Windows Server, how many application is running on it? Shit. Yeah, no, this is something typical. I'm just facing always. I just need what we need to do. We need to be create a connection between these two tables, right? So how that will be connecting, right? So I'm just clicking why it's not creating the relationship. Otherwise, it just click. Okay, let me click on that other side. Shit, yeah. So that is something I'm irritating with, sometimes it's working without any issue. Oh shit. Let me go with again. Windows Server and application. Yes, that's created. Right. Now you can see we have Windows Server is the top and application same one is in child, and we can also put that one which is parent and which is child, right? What type of relationships we want to see? First level relationship or second level relationships, right? If we want to put any specific relationship type, right? So let's take an example of runs on runs. It's not searching again. Go with this. I think there is no runs on runs, right?
So that
Any
means it's
relationship.
going to try and join the relationship table here also, right?
Yes. So, it's like we are looking for relationships. We can do that if we are looking for any other things, like,
Right.
if we are on an incident and if we want to see how many Windows server impacted on which type of incident and what is the incident number, attribute based level as well. So we can also do that, right? This is up to us, right? And we can apply filter if we want to, and then we can, if we are going to be run this one, if okay, let me save this. Query is invalid. At least one connection is valid. It's valid. Let's let me put in this way. Let me run. Yeah.
So what does it mean by having a level two?
Basically, level two. Basically, first level is example. Let me give you an example. I think then you can understand better. Let's take an example. Let's take an example of LinkedIn. You have direct connection with me on LinkedIn. Okay, that is level one. But and I know couple of other folks as well, and the second level, and you also know them, right? So if you seen on the LinkedIn, if you are going to be connect with them, you from my profile you can connect it, right? But that's level two for you, right? And the same way that next person which you connected, they are also know someone and you are going to be connect with them, that is level three for them. In simple words, if I say here, Windows server is your device on which application running on it, right? Or a web application running on it. But on that particular web application, there is website running on it, right? So level one is my web application, and the level two is my website, which is running on it, basically. Right. And on the top of website, if something else is running on it, any URL or anything is going to be exposed, that is my level third, which is going to be connect. So that if you see here, when I created this one, I will give you an example other as well in different way. Let me showcase you here. CMVC
So
underscore
why did the
Windows.
first level not work? Why did it say it was an invalid relationship?
That's why, because there is no relationships with that particular on the level one. Let me open it just to verify this one. Underscore server, and because we don't have any discovered CI here available, so I'm just going to be example, because as you know, like, my machine is, that particular system is reconfigured again. See, so here it's, just click on the different button, right? You can see the filter relationships by max level 3. If I just put to 1, see, my other component removed means my machine, that particular machine is connected to the on first level on these devices. Let me showcase you in the graphical view. That will, help you much better. Right now you can see Windows Server connecting to that web servers Apache, right? And that web servers is connecting to that Linux servers application. Can you give me one moment, please? I'm just getting a call.
Sure.
Sorry. So, and if you are able to see on the Linux servers connected to database, right? So if I go to here, let me, oh, if I go to here, it's showcasing level of 3. Now let's reduce to level 1 and apply. Now you can see. I think now you're able to get understanding, right? So level 1 for Windows Server is these particular services, PupilSoft, this, and here it's web servers, right? If I go to level 2, max it, apply it. Now they are going, these particular application services or whatever the component it is, they are going to be connect with these particular things. Now network gear comes in the picture and that going to be connected with service bonding and these particular, basically the relationships how we create it, right? And here the web servers connected with my Linux app. Basically this is my Linux servers where on Linux application is running, right? And if I go to next as well, 3, it's one more component added, database. The Linux server is also connected with that database, and here that service is connected with one more service, which is IT service. So IT service is the parent service. The service bonding is a child service, and which is connected with network gear, and that network gear is connected with Windows Server. I hope now you're able to understand, right? So that are the levels basically. If I going to be more levels, if I apply, if something is available, right? See, its level 4 is also available. So my database is connecting with mass storage device here. Right? So these are the levels, means level 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if there is no relationship with level 1 directly, and so that's it's connecting to level 2, so we can see that information here where it is in the query based results, right? So let me take an example, ps load bell 01. I think that is the same we have opened, right? And it's showcasing that relationships with exchange data with exchange ps apache 2, that is there. I think this is the relationship type ps apache 2. Yeah, this one, web server ps apache 2. Then, and this is based, as I mentioned, we can put that whatever we want to be, right? Whatever the filters we want to be apply here. Where it is, yeah, it's something, applied filter, right? It's something misbehaving, I'm sure, because this is not like that that is working.
So how can the Windows server have a relationship or connected at a, the second level without having some, I'm still not following, without having some kind of connection at the first level. So because when you said level 1, maybe the data
Hmm.
is not there. or something.
Might be the data is not there. That can be a case. That's why I just want to showcase you that one as well. It's somehow misbehaving. Let me save this one and let's try to modify. No, this is not. I click on this one. This is also not connecting. Connection already exists. If I click here, this is also not applied. Filter is not there. Let me do one thing. Let's create one more to see again. Linux servers. Let's do on the Linux server this time. So let's take Linux. That should work on the first level as well, basically.
Right.
Let's take application. Let's check database this time. Okay. So we have created this one. The parent Linux, child is database, first level relationships. So basically, you know what here it is till first level or up to second level. What type of relationships you want to showcase? Let's go with the first level. Okay. And let's type again. Let me click on this. No, let me this. No relationships. No. It's misbehaving somehow. I'm not able to down any relationship circlets with that. Now here you can see Linux servers is connecting with database, and there we have two relationships types, exchange and depend on. I just putting on the first level, right? And if I just want to be put any more apply, like that count of those CIs should be operational or any other thing, right? So we can also put that one filter as well, right? And we can apply any filter conditions related to attribute, related to any
Yes.
CI type, whatever,
Right.
right? That is basic, right? We can do that. Now, if I run this one, see, so there is one Linux server, this one and this one, which is connecting with exchange data and depend on used by. If I go here and open this one, so here we just here in this particular report, we are exposing till level 1, right? But if you see here the Linux server connecting to database, this is exchange data with exchange data and also connecting with mass storage device on depend on used by, right? But it's mass storage, that particular mass storage is not here in this particular query which we have just used here, right? The same way it's also, and if I open the second one, PS02, the same here, it's connecting with PS Aura 1 and it's connecting with mass storage device. So we just we what
That's
we have
because you have set your levels here to not just
one,
level one, right?
right? Here it's not level 1, it's completely it's max 3 levels out of the box, right?
Yeah.
If I
Right.
put to 1 and apply it, it will showcase these relationships to
Which
me.
will match what you have in the query builder, correct?
Right, exactly. Because
Yeah.
and what if we have to be remember what query we are right? We have writing a query between Linux servers and database,
Correct.
right? So that's why it's showcasing the information related to Linux server and database. These are my database only.
Correct.
So and here if we are showcasing this one, we have not defined anything here. If let me go here and just showcase you one thing more. Like see, let me remove Linux service there, let me remove other component, okay, and let's remove filter applied. This is the only thing, right? If we are looking for the database, that is only that that is using two relationships types, exchange data with exchange or depend on used by.
Mm-hmm.
The single component they have connected with two relationships types. And
Correct.
if I go to my query, you can see that is exchange data with exchange independent used by.
Correct.
But the why we are using the query builder, that information which we are doing using the query, you cannot download or you cannot create report directly from create report module, or you cannot download that particular things from that dependency map as well. So that's why the query builder comes in the picture, where you can write queries, you can connect the queries, and once you saved it, you can create report or create schedule as well. If I just want to create schedule to trigger that one, we can do that as well. So it
And also
automatically going to be
you can add other tables here also, whereas in the
yeah,
dependency mapping you cannot do any of that.
right, exactly. So it's more than one or two tables you want to add, you can do that. And also non-CMDB tables you can also include. Like if I just want to include incident,
Mm.
I can also connect the incidents basically.
Right.
So that is use of the query builders. That's
Mm-hmm.
mean use of it, right? But it's I my personal thing is using the query builder is little tricky. So first of all, what I always do, because I'm not prepared this time, what I always do, I just think about it, how what is the requirement and how we can achieve using the query builder. Like what will be my parent, what will be my child, how what filters we have to be apply, what conditions we have to be mentioned, right? Then we can do that only.
Right. Yeah. Got
See,
it.
it's created now. It's just one more. If I run this one, I'm just not applied any filter or anything. It will showcase the relationships if database have any incidents on it. So this is all. No, there is nothing. You
Nothing.
can everything is blank, right? So it will Linux, then type, then database and database incident and incident. So this is all about automatically created.
So you can actually, you
Hmm.
could have joined that same incident table to the Windows, the Linux server also, right?
Ah,
If you had any incidents on the Linux server.
yes, yes, of course. We can join that one directly to Windows Server or Linux server, whatever we want.
Mhm.
This is up to us.
Yeah.
So this is all about basically, and you can also save the queries, right? And as I mentioned, right, once I saved it, you can also create report on it.
Mm. Yeah.
No, it's not getting, it's already, we can export, import query. No, it's again, the button activates only for saved query, which is this has schedule. Okay. So create report will available once we created the schedule for that, and then we can create report from here.
Yeah. Got
So that is the query builder basically, which use most, not too much, but yeah, that is a good thing to couple of folks, and I heard from community as well. They are asking, I need a report on these two tables. How we can do that using the query builders? That can be achieved basically. Okay, now let's move to the next thing, configuration. I just want to cover that in the configuration, which is required most, right? CMDB remediation, I think we have already discussed if we want to be put any remediation task, right? So let me showcase you this one as well. So how you want to be automate, and it just to be trigger the workflow, right? If you have
it.
already created any workflow related to deduplications task, related to stale or anything, right? You can apply that one. You just need to be like, like follow on task, orphan CI, recommendation field remediation, remediate duplicate task, required field remediation, whatever that. So on what type of task you want to be execute that one, you just need to create a workflow and you can trigger it automatically. This is just to automate your flows basically using the CMDB remediation rule.
Mhm.
Okay. And the next is,
So does this use the workflow or it uses the flow?
it uses the workflow only. I think flow. Sorry, workflow,
Both,
right?
right? You can
It's
use
using
the
the workflow.
workflow. Okay.
You can create the workflow. I think there is one course which we called CMDB fundamentals,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you are going to be enroll that course as well, that particular things will be there.
Okay.
how you can create workflow and all. But I feel, that is something which and everyone knows, which were working on the ITO on ServiceNow platform side, how to create a workflow and the other things. But he needs to know what is the use of the remediation rule table basically. Right? If it is no, then you can create a workflow and you can trigger that execution automatically or manually, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that is there. And CMDB report, data manager, CMDB report. Right, this is data manager where basically where we can, if we have any we have configured any data evaluations basically, right? So we can create that policies if we have created any policies for any CIS lifecycle management, right? Or if we want to be exclude any CI from the which policies which we are using here, right? So and task related things, right? But this is just managed specifically related to data by the CMDB managers.
Mm-hmm.
So if I click on the view policies, the policy is not defined here. If I design any policies, we can configure, right? So this is the policy managed by which group, support group, and all. Policy type is delete, retired, attention. Have you heard about attention?
Manifestation. No.
No. So basically, that is just to example, if we are going in a court and the lawyer or the judge is going to be attached our document, right? This is something like that here we are doing, like we are attested that particular CI based on that configuration things is correct. If it is not, then that data manager task will be open and we are going to be fix that particular things.
Mm-hmm.
If that particular the CI is not attested by that reviews basically, peer reviews.
Okay.
So that we can do that in that one here. And the next is this is the report basically out of the box, which is available here on that CMDB, right? So we can do create and reports. So I think that is not that much good. And as I mentioned, CMDB dashboards, which we have already discussed, CMDB view one, right? Where you can configure. There is one more dashboard based on the service view and the group view. Let me showcase you this one as well. So this is based on the service view. This is on group view because that is something you can trigger or you can design groups basically for specific things, right? So if you want to populate that particular score CMDB groups, like as I created just group now, let me showcase you one more thing here. I think we can add that group. One moment. Mhm. No, I'm not. Okay. Group. Yeah. Right. So if I just want to populate data classification, no, not this one, not this one, not this one. There is okay. So I'm just need to be check how we can add the groups. Basically, we can add the groups which we have just created CMDB groups, and that particular dashboard will help out to showcase those informations related to correct completeness, compliance, and correctness basically.
For
Right,
that
but
group.
I will tell you how we can add the groups. I'm just missing that one because I'm using after a long time this one. Right, so we'll tell on that one. Service base is again the same type of which we have view here. But if you see, this is on the services, like same way here, I think here itself, I'm not seeing the drop down here. It's need health groups currently created. Shit, I got it.
Yeah, you didn't have
Okay.
a type of health group, right?
Right,
That's
we have not created, that's why. So
yeah.
it's based on the CMDB group health, basically. If that is
Mhm.
there, we can select like this, right? So on
Right.
what type of services we want to showcase, right? So this particular CMDB dashboard is showcasing based on the health groups. or
Correct.
services health groups, right? So we can select whatever we want. And this is normal one which we are using. If we want to be see specific class only, we can also apply that particular one directly, right? So that will be updated. Now it's updated for the class,
Hmm.
Windows class. Matrix is automatically changed, right? So that is something. And the I also heard couple of times we are also getting the same type of requirement to customize. Customer don't want to use that one and he wants to be create dashboard for specific class.
Hmm.
Right. But what I feel, why we need to be create a complete custom dashboard, health dashboard for a different classes if we have that capability
Like
here just to check
filtered,
it.
yeah, correct.
Right. We have to say no sometimes, and we need to be check the requirement. What is the exact requirement? What customer wants to achieve it? If it is, then we can also create the custom dashboard for the health as well. That is possible. Right. So that is also one
So
more thing.
what is that tab for relationship health? Is
So
that
this is
okay? Duplicate
This is
relationship.
just
Yeah.
relationships.
Got it.
I'm not sure you are part of my group or not. I just asked the same questions yesterday in my group for in the relationships CMDB health how which metrics will available, right? And 95% pupils given the incorrect answer. Only 2% given the correct answer. So basically duplicate orphan and the stale CI will available in, and that particular same type of questions will comes in discovery exam as well.
So what was your question? I didn't read it.
Let me read for you one moment.
Let me see if I. You posted it yesterday.
Yes. I just started something as a poll in the group, so persons can learn on it, right? So the question is which I ask for CMDB health relationships can be which of the following choices.
Hmm.
Right. So if you see on the relationships on the CMDB health dashboard, we have three relationships choices: duplicate,
Yeah, or
orphan,
let's see.
and
Yeah, I
instant.
see it. Correct, correct.
Right. But last a cup all the people selected that this one that
That is
required
for the regular dashboard,
completeness.
right? That is for
Right.
the CMDB dashboard.
Right. Right. So that we just because service now when we are going to be for CIS discovery exam, service now is trying to confuse us.
Hmm.
Right. And this is the small things which we are missing.
Yeah.
So that is there. Next is, let me go to configurations. I think, that application service groups we can discuss in the CSDM part. Application servers is something which is all type of application servers we have available. It is
Mm-hmm.
just a menu which we have created based on the filter conditions, right?
Correct.
Filter menu and all, right? So servers we have it. Cluster, database server, database instances, that these load balancers. Just want to showcase you one thing I think which is not available here. Storage, Docker, relationships types. Yes, CI relationship size, CI user relationship size, CI group relationships, suggested relationships filter, and this. So, we have, as I mentioned, we have different type of relationships. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to understand the CI relationships types, so these are the all CI relationships types we have available, right? Which is we can use in our rel CMDB rel CI table.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be specify specific relationships type, you can also create here, and that will be available while you are going to be create relationships in the CMDB rel CI table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is a CI user relationships types where you want to be create any relationship with the user logged reviewed by review log for, right? That is there. But if you want to create, that is something you can also create here. It's again for group backbone done backup done by and does backup for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So which team is done by and for which team it is done,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that if you want to create that relationships, you can also do that, right? and this is roll up relationships by, I think that we are not going to use, and that is mostly using for if I say in simple words, for data centers things basically, right? So
Mm.
that is not that going to be used. Suggested relationships always available, right, which is out of the box coming when you are going to be create any running discovery, or that you can also easily identify from the CI class manager and other things, right? So that is already there. And that basically that is for relationships. I just want to mention specifically because we have, sometimes we think how we can create a relationships customize if we want to use the different type, and we don't know, so we have that particular solutions out of the box. We don't go for any customization for that. We can do that from here. And after that, we have already discussed CI identifiers, IRE data source rules, reconciliation definitions, deduplication task, remediator, reclassifications. Yeah, that let me showcase you this one as well. So reclassification. Do you understand what is that reclassification task?
Yeah, so if CI is incorrectly classified as one type of CI, but it's
Mhm.
really like maybe a Windows server is incorrectly classified as a Linux server, something like that.
Right. So basically, and now the question comes, how it can be reclassified incorrectly, because its classification based happen on the ports only.
Yes.
Right. So basically what will happen, let's take an example. Customer is using the same CI with Linux server OS. Now we have discovered, and it's discovered in the Linux server.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But somehow, and after a couple of months back, a customer is removed that the Linux OS and updated with Windows OS
Mm-hmm.
or some different OS, right? Now the things is changed. Earlier it's classified and updated in CMDB's Linux server. But now the same IP, same hostname, everything is the same. Only the OS has been changed. If OS has been changed, the port will be changed. Now it's going to be classified as a Windows server, right?
Right.
So in that case, if it is going to be classified a Windows server, we can create a duplicate again, right? So that time reclassification task comes in the picture, where you can classify the existing CI or update the existing CI or reclassify the existing CI from Linux to Windows.
So do these tasks automatically get created?
Yes,
Okay.
that the task will be automatic get created based on that,
Mm-hmm.
data. Now everything, as I mentioned, everything runs on the identification. If
Mm-hmm.
your identification things correct, reconciliation things correct, automatically your CMDB will be healthy, and you can do that. So I think that is things in CMDB. I'm
There
just
were
trying
a
to
couple of
see.
things, Ajay.
Haha, yes,
What
yes.
is what is this? I had written it down. What is CMDB 360?
Okay, CMDB 360 is nothing. It's just newly introduced feature by ServiceNow. Is for everything is on one place. Let me open 360 schedules, or if I CMDB workspace, let me open the CMDB workspace. Just yes, here. I think we discussed last time, but somehow it's not working on my PDIA. And that is also I also tried with my personal PDI as well, and that's also not working there. Right. So now, now you can see some visualizations correctly, right? See, this is my CMDB workspace. Okay. On the home, I can see imported actions, deduplication task, task count is 6, duplicate CI 322, orphan CI is 180, and still CI is 3008. What is overall health of my CMDB is 58%. For relationships, 73%, right? Total CIs is this. So now what ServiceNow do basically for everything means whatever we are navigating till now, we can see each and everything here. If we need to take any action, if we want to see that health dashboard, if we want to see the percentage, this is all about CMDB workspace and CMDB 360 in simple words, if I say. Right. Second thing, you can also have a quick links for dependency views, query builder, data manager, as we discussed, CI class list, unified maps, right? The summary of the CIs is also there, right? And we can also custom or modify that particular dashboards if we want to add something, right? If I see specifically for my work, right? If I just want to see how many tasks assigned to me related to certification, related to assessment task, or related to any other duplicate or related task, right? I can see it here. What is task total in progress, overdue, not started, and all, right? So that is now let's go to the CMDB 360 if it is available. It's not available. That is the reason. But again, you know, let me open and let me showcase you CMDB 360 in service now. How that looks like basically.
Is it used a lot?
Hmm?
Is that used a lot, the CMDB 360?
Yes, no, no, yes, yes, use a lot, but this is something they have not doing something new here. That is already used. We are already using,
Okay.
right? We are just, put it to here. So if you see that is some properties here, first of all, that license will be there, and
Mm-hmm.
then we have to be enable that property, right? So CMDB 360 basically, there is one property, glide identification engine multi-source enabled. That property is give you help you to get the informations. Let me give you an example here. You have three data sources, okay, and you are updating the same class. You put it in config, sorry, reconciliation rules ki that attribute put updated by data source A, X attribute update by data source B, and that C attribute update by data source C. Example, you have configured, you have done. But on the CMDB, when this data source updated that particular attribute on the CI specific, you don't have information, or any other users don't have information which source, which attribute is updated by which data source, right?
Mm-hmm.
End of the day, that updated by or created by
That would be
showcasing
the
for
last one. Yeah. Right.
one, right?
Right.
Here using that CMDB 360 view or multi-source, you can identify on the CMDB form or CI form itself which attribute is updated by which.
Oh.
That is the use case of it basically. So if you see, find CI not reported by any discovery source, find discovery source populating data in your CMDB, compare attribute value across the discovery source, compare attribute value between CMDB and other source, and limit report for the CMDB 360 data to specific application service, technical service, and all, right? So this is basically we can do.
Mm.
In simple words, it's not because that particular plugin which is mentioned here, it's not available to install directly because it's ITOM discovery license, right? So I
Mm.
tried on my PDI itself, right? So that not working there as well. You
Okay.
can also try if it is working for you and all, right? So that is basically do. It's just a property which we need to be enable, and just visualizing that particular things to us.
Got it.
That is this all about CMDB 360 view. Again, an insight, if you see, let me click on the insight. Insights you can see like data ingestions, data governance, search analytics, right? Cloud versus non-cloud resources. We have non-cloud 242, cloud we have only two resources, right? Two service accounts is there, right? So this is how many unknown hybrid cloud, non-cloud. So that informations, application services, how many application service we have since 2nd of October, there is no update from there, right? So that we, and if something related to management, so rejected CI, exclude CI, draft policies, right? Duplicate, orphan, and we have quick links for the each things. So now end of the goal of the giving the CMDB workspace is everything can be achieved through the single portal or module example. We no need to
Mhm.
navigate or no need to be search for class manager, data manager, CMDB groups, and all, right? So you already heard about agent workspace, right? And there is one more service as service
Operations for
manager,
service.
SOW, right?
Yeah, SOW.
Service operations workspace, right? So that is also the service operation workspace comes for event management, agent workspace comes for ICE incidents and all. Now CMDB workspace for CMDB.
Mm.
So this is all basically.
Right.
And I think with that, we are good to close the CMDB things.
Mm-hmm.
Only now, one thing which I just want to be covered tomorrow is this is something important and which I missed last time. Discovery Home. There is one Discovery Home which help you to give like the same CMDB. We have Discovery Home dashboard.
Mm.
Let me update. We'll discuss tomorrow on that one. It will give the complete visualization about our discovery issues, if anything there, right? How we can troubleshoot, right? Application fingerprint schedule, discover device, cloud service account error. So we can discuss about that one tomorrow. So it will, you can see all the things on the single place. Also, we'll try to go with cloud discovery as well as the SCCM service graph connector. So once
Okay.
these three things is done, I think we are complete with our CMDB and discovery one, and then we'll start CSDM basically.
Okay. Sounds
And
good.
if, yeah, and before that, if required any, Q&A sessions, I'm okay to do that as well on Friday or whatever, right? So
Okay.
let's check with other folks and, we'll do that.
Okay. Sure. Sounds
Any questions on it till now, which we have
good.
discussed?
No, I'm good.
I think, yeah, then we are on the time today,
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah, sure.
All
So
right.
thank
Thanks.
you, Arati. Yeah, have a
Yeah.
good, bye-bye.
Yeah. We'll talk tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Yeah.